Today I wanted to show you some features of Canvas called Speedgrader and then a couple things in the gradebook you might not be aware of. So right now I'm in one of my courses, and as an instructor, one of the really handy things that you will see is that you have this nice to-do list over here, which is going to tell you what needs to be graded. So I have one short answer quiz to grade, and I have one Canvas cheat sheet assignment to grade. And it just houses right over here, which is really handy. So first, let's start right from the home page. So I'm going to click on this short answer quiz that I need to grade. So this is a quiz that has three short answer questions. So you can see the following questions need review, 1, 2, 3. So let's say number 2 was multiple choice. I would just need to review 1 and 3. In this case, they're all short answer. So this is what Speedgrader looks like. You have your student submission here, and then you have a place over here for assignment comments and their overall grade. Up along here is the name of the student. So this is my test student, right? If I clicked this and had a roster in here, you would see the other names, but I only have my test student. So I only have this one. If you click your name here, you're going to see a bunch of other students, and you'll be able to flip to them using these arrows. Okay, so in order to grade this short answer question, I can see the question here was, what do plants use to make glucose? The student answer was sugar and oxygen, which is incorrect, so I'm going to give them a 0. And you'll notice this hasn't saved quite yet. Over here, the score is still kind of saying there's nothing. It's not until I update the score here at the bottom. You can leave comments by question. So for this question, I could say, review the reactants of photosynthesis. And the student would see that the comment is just for that question. So question 2, how do plants use glucose? They said for cellular respiration to make ATP, which is correct. So I'm going to give them 1 point. And then what else does a plant produce when it makes glucose? They said oxygen gas. So I'm going to give them 1 point on that and update their score. And now you can see over here their overall score is a 2 out of 3. I can also leave them a comment over here for the overall quiz. So I can say nice start, keep working, something like that, and submit that to the student. And again, you're just going to click right through to the next assignment, and anyone with a green check mark is going to mean that their score is recorded. Once you're done, to get out of this Speedgrader view, you're going to actually come over here and click this little gradebook icon, and this will take you directly into your gradebook in your course. Now, the first thing you might notice is your navigation for your course is hidden. To get that back, you just need to click these 3 little lines, and you'll have all of your normal navigations back. So let's look at a few features of the gradebook. So you can see here's the short answer quiz I just graded. So anything you grade through Speedgrader will automatically come to your gradebook. One feature that I like is you can see the total score for the student is all the way down here at the end. So the more assignments I get, the further I have to scroll to actually see their total score. One good feature of Canvas is I can actually click here and I can move the total score to the front. My gradebook will refresh, and now the student's total score is up here right by their name, which is kind of handy. You also have this gear sign with all different kinds of features of the gradebook. And my favorite one here is show the notes column. So this note column is a place where you can type a note about a student and no one else will be able to see it. The students can't see it. You can't see, they can't see their own notes or notes about other students. It's just for the instructors in the course. So this is a really great place to remind yourself that maybe this student needs additional time on assignments, right? Or that they have to sit in the front row. So it helps you keep track of some accommodations that they might have. It also might just be general notes for you, right? So you might say they're missing class a lot lately, so you know to keep an eye on if they're attending or not. And all you have to do is save it, and again, only you're able to see that notes column. So those are a couple of features here from the gradebook. You can see the other thing I have to grade is this Canvas cheat sheet assignment, and I know I need to grade it because there's a little box here telling me that there's a submission and no grade, right? If it were graded, it would have a number. No submission would be a line. So if I just click right here, I'm just going to get, a spot for the grade, and I can download their document. That's not really a handy way to get through all of your students. And right here wouldn't make sense. I haven't seen the document. But what you can do is click the name of the assignment, and that's going to take you here to the assignment page where you can see what your instructions were, all of that. And then you're going to click Speedgrader over here, which again is how you want to grade assignments. This student submitted a Word document. You can see it's loaded right here for me within Canvas. I can look at it, I can grade it. It's pretty handy because I can do things like I can highlight. So I can highlight things. From there, I can leave a comment on where I've highlighted and say, nice job here. The student can reply to me, which is really nice for drafting. I can do strikeouts, right? So if I don't want them to include something, I can strike it out. You can draw annotations, right? So maybe I want to like circle something, things like that. So you have all these different annotations up here, which are really handy. A point notation, so you can drop a point here and say, fix this, update, whatever you would want to say. So you have all kinds of great annotations within the document. You also then can leave an assignment comment over here. In addition to a comment, though, you can also do a file attachment. So you can choose a file to submit to the student back. You can do a media comment, which is really cool. And Flash isn't working for me right now, but you can actually record a webcam video where a screen grab video where you are actually talking through the assignment. They can see you. They can see what you're talking about, which I think is really handy for students when you're giving them feedback. Sometimes hearing your voice and how you say it can make that feedback seem a little bit smoother. And then you can also do this nice text to speech. So all I have to do is hit record. Nice job, period. Please make some changes and resubmit by tomorrow, period. You end it by clicking that again. And then it's really nice because it's housed right here. Oops. In the comment box. So if you meant to say something else and it, mistyped for you, you can fix it and submit it. And then over here is going to be your grade, right? So I'm going to give this student, let's say, a 45 out of 50. And then all I have to do is hit submit. And then again, you would click to your next student. And you can see Speedgrader is open in a new tab. So I'm just going to close out of it. And then the last thing I want to show you is a feature actually for your students. So I'm going to go in as student view, as that test student that I just graded their assignments for, right? And I'm going to come to my grade tab. So you can instruct your students to come to grades to see their grade in your class, right? Not only can they open up the assignment and see your annotations, see your comments, and this is just not going to open quite right because I'm in the student view. Leave student view. We'll give it back. Sorry, went out of student view. That's not what I wanted to do. That's okay. So in student view again, if I go to grades, and right now it's going to have, I think, deleted those assignments. That's okay. But what a student can do in their grade is they can actually do what's called a what if score. So you can see here, you can view your what if score to see how things will affect. So as a student, right now I'm a student, I can go in and see, okay, what if I get a 45 on this term paper and I don't do the first discussion, but I do really well on that cheat sheet assignment, maybe I get a 48, right? They can actually see what their score would be, right? So they can say, what if I forget to turn that in? Oh my gosh, I'm going to have a 41%, right? So they can actually go in, play around with their grade and see what they're going to be getting in your class. So it's a really handy way for them to kind of work through and figure out what assignments to prioritize or kind of see, like, I need to get an A on this next assignment to get an A in the class. And it's always telling them, this is not your official score. They can revert back to their actual score. So that's just a handy trick for your students to be able to check out their own grades. And again, they just do that from the grades column, and then they can just start typing in their different scores to see what will happen. So let me know if you have questions as you start grading assignments, or if your students need some help accessing the what if scores. Thanks, guys.